Hi there, everyone, and welcome. Today we have some very special guests, but first, I'm Angela Putkela.
And I'm Don Putkela.
And this is our podcast, Welcome to Livingston.
Yeah, we're really excited about this episode today.
Yep, so we are learning a lot more about Orangetheory Fitness. And today with us, we have Katherine Powers, their head coach here in Brighton, and Andrew Patrick, the studio manager. So welcome, you guys.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Thank you. We're excited to be here.
Yeah, wonderful.
Yeah, let's go ahead and start off. Can you tell us a little bit about Orangetheory?
Definitely. Orangetheory is a group fitness 1-hour workout. We're located just up Grand River, actually very close to you guys. We're neighbors.
Really close to the office.
Yeah. And yeah, it's a group fitness workout that's led by a personal trainer. And there's different variations of cardio, strength training, a little bit of everything. You get a total body workout in the hour. We do have heart rate based technology that we use in there as well, which is pretty unique to us. And it's just an awesome place to come for an hour to kind of free your mind and treat your body well.
Excellent. Great.
Yeah, and I thought it was really interesting because, we walk by it all the time and we kind of like, oh, well, there's Orangetheory, and you can see people working through the windows when you guys don't have the sunshades down and such. But I think that group coaching has just been really growing lately. And also, we did a workout with you guys, but that was my first time with the heart rate technology, even though I have the Apple Watch that has that on it. I guess the question I have there is can you tell us a little bit more about that? Because that's what I found the most interesting thing. I've worked out before, but I've never known how I was working out.
Definitely. Yeah. So every class is backed by science and tracked by your heart rate. So what's really cool about it is we know that every person coming in is totally different. We all have different genetic makeups and ages, genders, everything. So the heart rate monitor that you're wearing is unique to you in the hour. It tracks your heart rate. It also gives you outputs with like maximum heart rate expenditure in the hour, your calorie burn. It even now tracks your distances through our treadmills, our rowers, and you can see how many steps you got in the hour, how much distance you went, what speeds you were using, which is really cool to use over time because you can keep track of that progress and see those changes that you're making. But it's just a great way to take the group fitness aspect and take what you did in the hour with a group, but keep it related to yourself.
Still
and
personalize
individual.
it.
Exactly.
Yeah. And
it gives you something to kind of reach for each time you come in, knowing how your heart rate typically responds in the hour.
Great.
Yeah.
Awesome. And Patty, do you have any thoughts on?
Yeah, I just want to piggyback off what
special?
Kat said. Another great tool with it is you could, track your progress. So I've been around Orangetheory since 2017. If I go all the way back in my app, I can see when I took those classes back then. And it's like what Kat was saying, it's a great accountability tool. It's also a way for our trainers to make sure nobody's undertraining or overtraining. As Kat was saying, a lot of different members have different genetic makeup, but we want to make sure that first and foremost, everybody's safe in there. But you also want to see the results that you're getting live in real time. What also is great about the heart rate monitor system is that it does work outside of the studio. So if you do want to take your workouts to, potentially squeezing in a jog outside or going for a walk with your spouse, after dinner, you can actually connect the heart rate monitor to your app outside of the studio. And it does the same results for you. And just like anything else in 2021, a lot of technology is going on, and it's just a great way for you to make sure that, you're making a good investment and you're finding a gym and the results will come. And it's just a great tool. Some people get a little competitive with it as well, but
Definitely. I can imagine.
Even though in our heart rate monitor system, if you come check out the studio, a box will be up there for each member's profile, but you're not competing with anyone else up there beside yourself. So some people get a little distracted and get a little nervous because there's a bunch of boxes up there, but the only people that's looking at those boxes is the trainer and yourself. So.
Well, and I found that interesting because, you are a little bit in competition with yourself. And I assume as you do more workouts and where you're at, you're trying to beat what you did last time because, with the Apple Watch, people are trying to close their rings all the time.
Yes.
So then it's that same theory there. Mm-hmm. But, the thing that I found that was so cool, and I want to talk about the different colors, is that I was looking up there to track where I was in my heart rate and trying to keep within a zone and such. So would one of you want to talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, sure. We train in 5 heart rate zones there, and the first 2 zones, kind of like the gray and the blue zone, are just kind of like a warm-up light activity zone. Our top 3 zones is where I would say most members spend most of the time, and that's kind of what we're looking to achieve to get maximum fitness results. But the top two zones, the orange and the red, that's where you go into the anaerobic afterburn is what we term it here at Orangetheory. So it's that excess post-oxidative consumption that your body goes into. Basically, not to bore you with the science, it means your whole body's revved up. Everything you just did in the hour, you're burning additional calories over the next 24 hours if you hit 12 or more what we call splat points. And that's what that O in Orangetheory comes from. That's a splat point. And that's just equivalent to 1 minute in the orange or the red zone. So naturally, your heart rate's definitely elevated. You're working hard. So it's not always, the most comfortable spot to be. I mean, we all get a little uncomfortable when we're running or doing things exercise and fitness-wise. But it is a great way to kind of keep you accountable in the room and hold you honest to how you're really feeling. There will be times I'm working out there and I'm like, oh, I'm dying. And I'll look up and I'm not even close to the orange zone. So it's very humbling to
offered such great perspective, I think, because at least for someone, in the past I've done maybe some aerobics classes, right? And when you're doing aerobics classes, you're like not just staring at the instructor and what they're doing, but you're also looking at the other people and, okay, am I in sync? Am I in the right, whatever? It felt like it had that benefit because it could, it was like, all right, I'm kind of in a blue zone and nobody else is. So I'm like, okay, I guess I have to be working a little harder. But it really made it interesting because once I got to that orange zone, man, I was so excited and I cheered out, but then other people were cheering.
I know. Yeah. There's cheering going on for everyone all the time. But as Patty mentioned too, it is a great way for coaches in the room to make sure everyone's working out safely. And that's always the coach's number one priority is safety and that the workout's effective for the members. And so it's a guide for me to be able to just check in with people as they're working out and make sure no one's heart rate's getting too high where we just need to dial it back for a minute before we jump back into it. And just some people that haven't really done much of fitness, rather recently or ever, we have all walks of life in the room. So it's just a good way for me to kind of learn people more individually.
Got you. So one of the other things, some people really get intimidated about gyms or group fitness classes. And they walk through the front door of a gym and they have no idea where to start. They have no idea what piece of equipment to get on. And then maybe they get on a piece of equipment and they take it way too hard and they're like, this was way too hard and I'm done. Let's talk a little bit about what types of equipment can people expect when they walk through the front door and how do you kind of incorporate that to bring them into the process?
You want to talk about our equipment?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so as Kat was saying in the very beginning, we have a wide range of a lot of different type of equipment, but treadmills are a huge portion of all the class. Our treadmills have a great support system at the bottom called Flex Deck. It actually has a little bit of a cushion, so if you're power walking or jogging or running, whatever speed you're going at, you actually feel a little bit of a bounce to it. It just helps out with people's knees, ankles, hips, and lower back. And I promise you, it will definitely feel a little bit different than just a general hotel, a treadmill that you would see if you're on vacation or traveling. We also have water rowers, same concept as like a Concept 2 rower. And I actually never rowed before I started working and working out at Orangetheory. It's definitely one of my favorite parts about the workout. Great for burning off calories, lean muscle, full body workout, and also very low impact. So definitely will not be hurting your knees, ankles, hips, or your lower back at all. Orangetheory definitely wants their members to stay safe, especially with the equipment. And then the last part of the class is the floor is what we call it. And that's all of our strength portion. So we down on the floor section of the class, we have dumbbells, medicine balls, TRX bands, bodyweight movements, benches. We pretty much have everything besides a pull-up bar and a barbell. Our dumbbells are from 5 pounds all the way up to 70. You pick your own weight the entire time. If you have an injury or if you need a modification for any reason, that's what the certified coach is in there for. Or if you want to make it more challenging, that's what they're also in there for too. So you can definitely, pick your poison with that. And we do over 300 different type of exercises down on the floor. So it's broken up into thirds majority of the time or into halves. And another one of my personal favorite parts about class is it's a brand new workout every single day. So it helps out with variety. Of course, you'll do some of the same exercises, same movements, but in regards to that exact template, you never do it twice. So it's definitely one of my favorite parts.
Very cool.
Really shakes it up then. That's kind of what we've heard from our friends that are members. So
definitely.
Yeah. Yep.
And just the mixture of the equipment. I mean, of course, treadmills can be very cardio focused for people if that's what they're looking for. But then we have some members that are really looking to build strength in their legs and do take on the power walking and work the inclines. The rower, as I think I told you, uses 84% of your muscles. So it's a lot of strength building on top of cardio, of course. And then, like Patty mentioned, we have that whole strength floor where you can definitely work on building muscle or toning, but then you can do some body weight moves too that really bring your heart rate up and bring on.
Yeah, and I love seeing the rowers there because those were popular 15, 20 years ago, but you don't see them as much anymore. And it's such a fun, unique, easy workout.
So low impact. It's like you just, especially the water rowers that we have, you're just like gliding, you know, it feels so nice. You don't feel like the aches and pains of it at all.
Exactly.
And it definitely gets your heart rate up. That's for sure.
100%.
No.
Yep.
What advice do you guys have for beginners?
Well, I personally get to, you know, as one of the coaches at the studio, get to work with people on their first class often. And I love it because the first thing I like to ask people when they walk in the door is their why and why you're here and what their goals are, because we're all different. We all have different goals and there's different reasons that everyone walks through the door there. So I like to kind of break down those barriers first and understand what's bringing someone in. That just allows me to help, again, make a group fitness hour experience even more tailored to someone individually. So I love that I've met people before that are training for triathlons and marathons and are using this as part of their training program. And I've also met people that have never been on a treadmill in their life, never picked up a weight in their life. And it's so cool to be able to work with them even more closely to really help develop, you know, how to effectively and safely work out in a space like that. So I just welcome all beginners, anyone at any level of their fitness. I mean, we have a way to make things competitive for people and also completely modify and break down things into simpler terms. And that's what I think makes us so unique.
Wow.
Outstanding.
So one of the things you keep saying group fitness, and I know it's a group class and such, but one of the things I noticed just in the time we're in there talking to you and then coming into the class is there's a real sense of community there. They tend to, I mean, you see so many smiles, you see people cheering each other on.
I saw people working out who were smiling. I don't think I've ever seen that before.
Right.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So let's talk about that a little bit. I mean, that's just so unique. How do you guys kind of build that, and what types of things do you guys do to help that?
Yeah, I think, you know, first and foremost, I think good energy is contagious. So I think that's something that we try to keep our eye out for during the hiring process of just even our sales associates and, you know, obviously our coaches as well. And, you know, we want to bring people in there that are good with people, have good character, and you know, can be open to anybody that's going to be using the studio, and you know, definitely encouraging people to maintain, you know, their workout routine. These workouts are definitely challenging, but you know, when you're in a room full of people that are cheering, encouraging one another, and the coach is on the microphone, there's a playlist, you know, blaring inside the studio as well. Yeah, it definitely keeps things fun. And even though you're in a room full of people, you might have somebody, a high school student next to you, or you might have a former college player to the right of you. And our oldest member right now is 73. So all different walks of life. And when you're in there, even though it is a group workout, it's your hour to yourself. And you're in there and you see people, you know, sweating and grinding with you. And it's just kind of like an appreciation. It humbles you a little bit. And as you know, your guys' friend Dawn, we were talking this morning, she sees a lot of the same people at her time when she takes 8:45, and then all of a sudden you start conversating with these people, you know, talking about the classes, talking about what's going on in their social life. And it's really a community, and we're extremely blessed and fortunate to have a great member base that, you know, really, you know, makes our job that much, you know, easier and fun.
Right.
We were definitely struck by just how welcoming everybody was. And you guys invited us to try it out for one session beforehand, and Don's the gym rat. So he said, sure. And I'm like, let him go. He'll be the guinea pig. But I think it was because everybody was so welcoming and open that's when I signed on.
Yes, to say, and I wanted to just talk about the quality of the workout. Sure. So you get on the rowing machine. I'm like having no problem with the rower. I didn't think, you know, the free weights and the exercise we do, all of a sudden at some point you're like, I'm just stepping up on the bench. Why is this so gosh darn hard all of a sudden? And then I get to the treadmill and, you know, I can run a 10-minute mile, but I've done these other two exercises and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is killing me. This, you know, so it's a whole different type of workout than I've done before. And I did not expect that.
It is. It's total body, and it challenges you and pushes you because every day is different. Each time you kind of hear what's going to go on, the coach will give you the roadmap for the day, and you're like, okay, yeah, I got this. And then you get there and it's just like, whoa. But speaking to the quality of the workouts, what's really cool about Orangetheory and all Orangetheories around the nation, we get templates from a design team that they spend weeks and months putting together before they roll out to every studio. So as a coach, I actually have my template ready to go, and it's made up from a big table of board members who are composed of exercise scientists, cardiologists, physical therapists, nutritionists, and other exercise enthusiasts. I mean, they have someone with every type of degree there helping to put those workouts together.
Wow.
So it's science-based and backed, and it also has a purpose. And, you know, it's awesome to be a coach and be able to deliver that. But I mean, of course, I can never take credit for how much goes into thinking and really purposefully making those workouts each day.
Right.
Now, how long has your location been open for?
We opened up in November of 19. So we were open for, you know, just a few months before COVID happened.
Oh,
and
no.
Yeah. So that was a little bit of a transition. And then I was actually working at the Ann Arbor studio before COVID happened. And then I actually came over to the Brighton studio in August of 2020. And we opened back up with outdoor workouts. And then eventually we transitioned back to inside the studio, half capacity. We definitely were, doing our due diligence with everything, making sure everything was safe. We want to make sure everyone was healthy. And then now we've transitioned back to being full capacity. And we still do deep cleaning in between every class. That's something we really hang our hat on is, it's a very new studio and we want to keep it that way. So it goes a long way, and it's just out of respect for our members.
Right. Yeah, that was handy as we would shift over. It's like, hey, the wipes came out. Everybody wiped everything off. It was a very good system.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yep. And we were there during an interesting class, an interesting week. I wanted to make sure to mention that.
Yeah, we had a glow workout last week, which was super fun. But yeah, it looks now more traditional Orangetheory. But yeah, everything was blacklit, and for the Halloween season, it was super fun to do that.
And I think that's just so unique, being able to do those things and have those fun activities, because, even though people like to work out and such, it gives them an extra reason to be there. This is something different today. This is fun.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a great thing.
Kind of the entertainment value of shaking it up. So
because working out can be fun, right? I mean, all of a sudden you're looking around and you're like, oh my gosh, there's glow in the dark everywhere, but I'm working out.
Yeah. So one of the other things, when people come in and such, I mean, this is group fitness. It's hour-long classes. Do people need to sign up for the classes, or are they able to just drop in?
Yeah, so there's a booking app, just like anything else in 2021, as I mentioned earlier, there's an app for it. And we always have our schedule at least a month to a month and a half out in advance. You can book all your classes online. You also could call the studio, text us. You could book classes while you're at the studio. The app is very easy to use. There's just an 8-hour cancellation policy. And then depending on what membership you have, if you fail to do that, there's some certain things that will happen to it. But it's fairly easy to book the classes. Sometimes we do have wait lists, but what that really means is that a lot of our members are pre-booking classes early, and then they'll look at their personal schedule, their work schedule, try to figure out what lines up best for them, and then they'll remove themselves out early. But I will say, ever since we went back to full capacity, really haven't had any major issues with full classes or anything. But what's always nice is, and this is what I always tell people when they first sign up with us, is to just look at your routine. It is an investment on yourself. We want to make sure you're getting into classes, and then just block off your Orangetheory time. So that way you just know that you're getting into the classes and you're going to get your money's worth, and also, feel the results and look at the results yourself. So the app has been around for a while. So it's been going well though.
Wonderful. And how quickly do you usually see people starting to get results? I mean, you see them coming into the class and maybe struggling at the beginning and...
Sure. Yeah. So that's kind of part of the reason that I ask people's why for coming in and what their goals are, because as a coach, we kind of like to basically prescribe how often we feel like you should be coming to reach your goals. And I always like to ask people, how motivated are you to hit that goal? And depending on the response and kind of the lifestyle everyone has and work schedules, family life, everything, we kind of help to guide, about how often people should come. I would say our most popular would probably be about 3 to 4 times a week. I would say 3 times a week is definitely an effective way to hit your results, hit your goals in a pretty quick time frame. We actually had a member several months ago come in for her first class, and she had just left a doctor's appointment, was told that she had to start diabetes medication and needed to start getting into fitness a little bit more. So she basically came in and said, my goal is to not have to take this medication. And she, 2 months later, went back to the doctor, and he told her she was far away from having to take any medication anymore. So,
wow.
How fantastic.
Yeah.
Those are real world results that affect people's lives.
Definitely.
Mm-hmm. That's definitely the why. I would say that, Kat and I really want to make sure that the staff feels prepared, just provide a place where for anybody that walks through that door, they all have different goals and different challenges that they're facing. Throughout my duration with Orangetheory, I've met people that never even used a treadmill before. We have people that come in after a breakup. They're trying to lose the baby fat from their pregnancy. COVID weight, obviously we get a lot of that right now. And everything.
COVID-19, right?
Yeah, exactly. Especially in the Brighton area, now the kids are back in school and everything. We're getting some parents that are trying to, look out for themselves. And, that's what we always just try to remind the staff is you never know what those people are going through when they walk through that door, or just a simple stress reliever. Or,
right.
In the case that Kat said, with that particular member, it's, we love hearing that stuff. And, we've had some members do some really, really impressive races this year, some marathons, half marathons, a 50 miler, I believe. And
5Ks, everything.
Yeah. And that's what is a main reason why I enjoy doing what I do, is just to listen to people, listen to what their different goals are. And it doesn't matter if you're just trying to do a 5K or a marathon, we just want to be somewhere that can help benefit that.
Well, that sounds really good.
Yeah, no, that's definitely awesome.
Yeah, and I guess that kind of segues a little bit into our personal experience, because we did want to talk to you guys a little bit about that today. You guys invited us in for a workout, so we came in and, I was impressed. I thought it was very cool. It was a lot of fun. The person next to me was helping me out on the rower in that I wasn't leaning back enough and such. So,
Good.
that was really good. And did you want to talk about what you thought of it a little bit?
Sure. Okay, so generally speaking, I'm kind of a slug when it comes to workouts. And like I said, I wasn't even really planning. So even, I signed on, I said, okay, it was more like, for research to be able to do this interview properly, right?
She was very anxious for the whole week. I'll just be honest.
That's okay. That's what I hear.
Yeah,
Most people say that.
Even that morning, he's like, you are so grumpy. Like, what the heck? I'm here like, can we break? I'm going to be working out here, And in terms of my background, I belong to some other gym that, I would work out for, say, 20 minutes, every 3 or 4 months, whether I liked it or not. So I was super intimidated. I'm not even going to lie there. And I came in, everybody was friendly. Kat explained everything, and it was really dark because of this funny thing, but it was neat. What I was struck by was the music was great. The people were super friendly, super supportive. Even noticed people that I happened to know that I ran into, and that, made it very comfortable. But even in terms of the activities themselves, very low impact. I get worried about my knees. Well, I do admit my arms were almost ready to fall off the next day. I wasn't nearly as sore as I thought I would be. And I think I was really motivated and struck by, once I got to that orange glow and oh my gosh, I did it. And it was kind of addictive that I kept getting as high as I could.
Yep.
But it was a great workout, and it's something I could definitely see for myself, something actually doing that, weight-wise, I definitely need to do something. I packed on those COVID-19 pounds myself. But it's unexpected. I kind of thought that it'd be like a gym and that it'd be all the people Don, they're yeah. But it seemed like it was a little bit more friendly for people like me.
Totally.
That, what a great way to have this community to.
Mm-hmm. It's definitely I can see how it could be an intimidating place when you walk in. There's lights everywhere. There's these flashing 5-zone heart rate monitors. There's music in the lobby. There's music in the studio. There's people hollering and supporting each other inside the class, and there's a coach on a microphone. Just what I ask for anybody is to just give us a chance. All of our memberships, we don't lock you in for a year or 6 months or anything like that. Very flexible. We have a lot of different class times. The only day that we're not open is Christmas Day. So, really whatever your goals are, even if you're just, you have a workout routine outside of here, but I'm really happy to hear that, everything went smooth for you guys. And it was so great to have you there before we started chatting.
And I think having the coach part of it and having someone to tell you what to do is the most important part, because I think there's so many people that either under workout or over workout. And a lot of times it's that over workout that they get in and they're like, I'm going to hit this really hard for the first 4 or 5 days. And then, their back hurts and they're laying on the couch for the next week and a half. And that didn't really do you any good. So I love that aspect of it, that we were both able to get a good workout, but a personal workout for each of us, that even though we were doing the same things, it was my legs that were killing me. I didn't take it too hard on the arms during the thing, but I went pretty hard on the rower. So I was pretty sore the next day.
Yeah.
But we're thinking both of us we're coming in to sign up.
Nice. That's
so
awesome.
we're going to do
Had a
this,
good
right?
time.
Definitely unexpected.
Yes.
But also to fall back on our friends, Dawn and Paul Garcia, shout out to them. They are awesome.
We love
Yes.
them.
Yeah, those
they
are
are
two
so
of our
great.
favorites.
But they've definitely talked this up. And that's why when we were looking for somebody cool to have on the podcast, we said, hey, let's connect with them. And, there's certain things that Dawn has shared that I made sure to, check in with her to say her 2 cents. But she was so impressed that in terms of the trainers, that they come in all age groups and they're not just the 20 to 30 age group, and social nights and, challenges that people do for fun. And, but that the studio is small in small classes, and she really likes that. And just that personal level. She had so many fabulous things to say that I could probably spend the next 10 minutes on it. But, they're walking, living, testaments to.
Yeah, we've
what you're
definitely
doing.
seen how their health has increased and their fitness is definitely increased. And I think a big part of that is coming to you guys.
It's awesome. And like you said, the personal trainers, I think it just makes it unique because we all have accreditations and certifications in personal training. So it's someone you can trust and kind of rely on to help steer you in the right direction and just make sure everything you're doing is safe to you as an individual. And I talk to people all the time. I would say almost every day someone comes to me and tells me, I tweaked my shoulder picking up my kid last night, or I was mowing the lawn and pulled my back a little bit too much. So we love and we encourage our members to share those experiences so we can help make sure that the hour we have them for, they're not going to make that any worse, flare anything up, or, bring anything on that is going to set them back.
Got you. And one last question I wanted to ask. I saw on your Facebook this morning the calendar for next month.
Yes.
What's the Everest challenge?
Ooh. Everest is a good one. We do a lot. This is actually something really cool and unique to Orangetheory. We do some benchmarks and signature classes, and they always come back quarterly for the most part. So you can kind of rely on, if you do your first one this month, in 3 to 4 months, it will come back. And the whole challenge of that being that, 3 to 4 months from now, you've definitely built some strength in some aspect of your fitness journey. So it's so cool with these benchmarks because we get to see people come back, do it again, and we, personal best or PR, their past distances or their past times. Some challenges are for distance, some are for time. And sometimes people come in and say, I want nothing to do with this challenge today. I just want to get my hour workout in. And that's perfectly fine as well. So it's just a great, unique way to kind of challenge people a little bit more. But the Everest one is definitely a good one. It's on the treadmill. You go all the way up your incline and all the way back down.
Wow.
So you climb that treadmill.
Woohoo. Now, what's a HIIT workout? HIIT?
Yeah, because we see that sometimes, and I have a Peloton at home, and they say HIIT workout. I have no idea what that is.
Yeah, like high intensity interval training. So kind of what you were doing like on like our floor, especially like when we usually have things separated into like certain blocks for time and certain reps for time and stuff. So that's kind of like HIIT training where you kind of drive your heart rate up, you're working on your moves, and then you kind of take your recovery and get back to it and kind of work through the intervals of it.
Great.
Yeah,
it seems
very
like that's probably a good way to help your body train for that. So it's not just this constant.
It is, yeah, and there's so much science behind it that helps with like toning and fat loss, but also muscle gain. And we have other really cool pieces of technology in our studio. We have like an in-body scanner where every person that joins in with us can get like a body composition to themselves. It tells you your muscle mass percentages, body fat percentage, weight. It even tells you where your weight's distributed in your body. So if your right side is slightly stronger than your left side, we know those things. And then, if that was you, Angela, I would tell you to start your reps on the left side because your right's already slightly stronger. So let's start the left side to kind of strengthen that side first. So there's some really cool ways that we can dive even more into technology. And again, just the personal experience that you're getting there.
How fantastic. No,
Yeah.
that is really great.
And I think that personal experience is the biggest part of it because, they have their home gyms now, and home gyms have become so important and doing things outside and everything else. But having that aspect with other people again and with the trainer, it incorporates into the overall quality of their life. And I really like that aspect because, like I said, we walk by it every day. Our office is right next door. And a lot of times we would tell people, hey, we're right next to Orangetheory. And sometimes they would know and sometimes they wouldn't know. So that's why we wanted to have you guys on because we think that you are such a great addition to the community.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Great
we love being
person.
here.
Yeah, it's definitely a shout out to our staff too, because they really make it a welcoming place. It's definitely not just Kat and I. We have our coaches and our sales associates, SAs, the front of the house, and they genuinely care. And our members get excited when they see that a staff member is joining them in class. It just kind of adds that other element of excitement. And they do a great job of that as well. Just welcoming to all different walks of life. So
Got you.
That is awesome. That absolutely came through, and it made a difference in me wanting to do it and keep coming back even.
Well, we have showers in the studio, so you can come take class on lunch break and be back to work in no time.
Right. And for all of you guys that don't know, they are located right here in Brighton. It is right where on Grand River, but where Best Buy and Marshall's is at there. Right in the side plaza there, right next to our Keller Williams office. But right here in Livingston County and such, what brought you guys to Livingston County then?
That's a great question. I mean, Orangetheory has been just kind of blowing up over the last several years. It actually was started in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. First ever studio was down there. And nowadays there's at least almost 2, 3, or 4 in every major city. And like Patty mentioned, we both came from the Ann Arbor location studio, working there first. And just as it's gained traction and people know more and more about it, we've just noticed that there's more of a need in other places. And so we were fortunate enough for the people that we work for and work with. They opened one out here in Brighton, and when they called, we answered.
That's
awesome.
right.
And I like to ask every single guest, what do you like best about Livingston County?
For me, I just think I grew up in Goodrich, and I went to school down at Concordia University in Ann Arbor. So I drove back and forth through Brighton like a zillion times, like when I went to undergrad, and always knew of Brighton, grew up playing some basketball tournaments around here and whatnot. But when I came over and started working last year, definitely just how welcoming the people were. It just was kind of it was re-energizing to just meet new people. And we definitely miss some people in Ann Arbor as well. It's not that we just left there, fleeing or anything, but it's just how welcoming it is. And then, just having conversations with the members, and I'm a pretty big road biker as well. So they would recommend to go to Kensington. They would tell me what routes to go on. It was just very, very nice, and just kind of a nice way to segue out of COVID into a new location. And it's been a blast. So
Awesome. How about you, Kat?
I would say just the community aspect that's out here. And I think it generates from Livingston County, and we've gotten such a great feel of that at Orangetheory in our studio. And it's just been so cool to meet the people and see, everyone's different lifestyles around here, but how we all come together. And I've gotten to meet so many people and experience, I would say majority of our members are local or work in Livingston County. So we've gotten to know their businesses and what they do. And we've got doctors and nurses all around that are great recommendations for us, or nutritionists and stuff, and things that we're able to kind of bring into our studio. But the community aspect that Livingston offers is awesome.
That is so great. Well, we love that. And that's why we created this, that as realtors, so many people have been moving into Livingston County that we wanted to say, welcome to Livingston, and to introduce some of these that, even people that have lived there 20 years like us may not have known about Orangetheory just opening up here.
Right.
Even though it's been 2 years with COVID, it's been sort of a strange time. And so it's nice that you guys are doing so well, and everybody's come into it.
So if someone wants to find out more information about you guys, how do they get a hold of you?
You definitely call the studio. The phone number is 810-360-2448. You could call us, text us. You could swing by the studio. There's always someone there. We're open as early as 4:30. Majority of the time, we wrap up around 7 p.m., 8 p.m., depending on what day and time. We are open on the weekends. We have some morning classes. Usually we wrap up around midday on the weekends as well. You could always just Google it. We're on all social media aspects, emails out there. And I just want to say the first class is always free. If you live in the local area of Livingston County, just as I mentioned earlier, just give us a shot. Just give us a shot. We're a very welcoming crew. It's definitely a solid workout, and we welcome all different fitness levels. So don't think that there's any prerequisites or anything like that. I know we've already mentioned a few things earlier, but it's a very exciting and a very welcoming place.
Some great time to beat the New Year's rush, get started before that turkey sets
Actually,
in.
this month too, we have some really good promotions and stuff, and ways to get free months out of it. So
Well, that is awesome. Especially, you know, we have 3 kids, and I'm going to have some Halloween candy weight to take off.
as you should.
Yeah, classes were a little light today.
Yeah.
I can there's some sugar rushes going on,
Right.
so
Yeah.
I understand that.
Great. Well, thank you guys for coming in today. It was really a pleasure, and we look forward to seeing you guys more as
Yes.
we.
Yeah.
We're
get
very
started
excited to
enjoying.
see you around.
this
Yeah,
has been
we'll be
great.
around. Yeah,
Yeah.
we may even have you back 5-6 months from now if we've taken off a bunch of weight.
Yeah,
Yeah, that'd
let's
be
do
awesome.
it.
See
Yeah.
how far we've come.
That'd
But
be great.
I would say to everyone to check them out, stop by, check them out on Facebook. You can find links to them in our show notes, and please check us out as well.
Yeah,
Check out
like and subscribe. We can be found on Spotify and Apple and
Yep.
Sounder.
Or just Google Welcome to Livingston Podcast, and you can find all of our past episodes there. So thank you so much again for coming today, and we wish you the best, and hopefully we'll see you next week as well.
Great. Welcome to Livingston.